Guys, so today I'm at Cathedral Rock Park. It's part of the Leon Creek Greenway, so let's get started. This is going to be an example of an ephemeral stream. It's a stream that only receives water right after it rains. And we can see right here that this is going to be a sinuous channel. It's not quite necessarily a meandering. So there's going to be a moderate slope. It has a gentle curvature, and it's going to be sinuous in appearance. And this differs from a meandering channel because in meandering channels there's going to be a relatively flat slope, and it's going to have a highly variable curvature, so it's going to be much more aggressive curves than we see here in this ephemeral stream. This is going to be part of an ephemeral stream, and this rock right here would be an example of a nick point. So as the water comes down here, water will flow and hit, and as it does, it will weather away and break away that rock, and it'll fall and it will create a new nick. Over here we have a few examples of weathering. This is going to be biologic weathering, so we can actually see the tree roots coming through up into these rocks over here. And we also see evidence of rock fall. So where this rock has split, there's pieces of rock that have actually come down here, which is a form of mass wasting. That's the second part of denudation, is going to be mass wasting, with the gravity bringing the rocks down here with rocks. So over here we can see another example of an ephemeral stream. Both sides of the stream are going to be more elevated, so there's only going to be water coming down here whenever it rains. And we can also see some of these rocks, they're not as rounded, like this one is a little more round, but these aren't going to be as weathered as other streams, the perennial streams, because there's not going to be a constant source of water to continuously weather these down. So these rocks really aren't going to be going through much siltation, which is the bouncing, or traction when they're kind of rolling along the bottom. But this is going to be an example of an ephemeral. All right, over here we're going to see two different parts of the denudation process. We see weathering, and we also see mass wasting. So as we can see, for mass wasting, these different rocks have weathered away and fractured, and gravity has taken them down here, where we see this accumulation of, I guess, talus. And then we also see a form of biologic weathering, with moss growing on the different rock faces. We also see another form of biologic weathering again, with the tree growing out of the rock face. Over here we're going to see another example of a form of weathering. This one is going to be chemical weathering. So this is going to be a piece of limestone, and as we know, limestone reacts with the carbonic acid in rainwater, and so every time that any rainwater is going to hit this rock, it's going to form little tiny holes in it, and eventually you'll see them kind of form together a bigger hole. But you can see examples of carbonation, which is a form of chemical weathering, all over limestone rocks. Here we're going to have another evidence of erosion, with where water will come down the slope here, and we can see all these different rocks over here creating a sort of alluvial fan, where it kind of fans out from that slope when it hits this flatter area. And then we can also see evidence of rock fall and biologic weathering, where these tree roots have come and disturbed the rocks over here and created them and made them fall down here as well. Okay, so this rock also shows some visible signs of weathering. As we can see here, these big cracks or joints are in the actual bedrock, and so the different weathering processes destroy the bedrocks, and it fragments them into smaller pieces. And so all the exposed bedrock is being weathered, and it fractures at these weak points. So these would be joints, and that exposes new areas of the rock to able to be weathered. These would be joints. These don't show displacement. They aren't microscopic because you can very well clearly see them, but these also aren't faults as well. So this is an excellent rock to show what weathering can do to bedrock.